Ooh! Welcome to a post-game victory Blue Rush podcast. It is a rowdy crowd here. It is rowdy here at the Pilsener Haus Biergarten in Hoboken. Give it up for Pilsener Haus.
Yeah!
Tip your bartenders. This episode of the Blue Rush podcast is presented by Tri-State Cadillac Dealers. Be iconic. Visit your Cadillac showroom today. And guess what? If you want to check out the 2022 Cadillac CT5V Black Wing.
Ooh.
It's outside. We got a Cadillac user here. She was pumped about her Cadillac. She called it the mom car. Yeah, so it's outside. Go check it out. Beautiful black car. Check it out. Blue Rush Podcast. Wow. The New York Giants are 5-1. I'm Jake Brown, the Podfather. Let me welcome in the host of the show. Give it up for his Giants Super Bowl champion and the voice of New York Post Sports on YouTube, of course, Brandon London. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Hey. I want to shout out to my mom that's sitting right there. Hey, thank you, Mom.
38?
You, Mom. Yep.
38?
38, feeling great.
The big 3-8,
Big
feeling
3-8.
great. Brandon London. Our special guest on Blue Rush won 2 Super Bowls in his career with what? The Saints, the Patriots. He ended his career with the New York Football Giants. Give it up for Jonathan Casillas.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here.
You
Good to
two
be
were
here.
there today. Giants win again, 24-20. How about the 5-1 Giants?
How about those Giants? Let me tell you something. We had to leave to get here to miss traffic, right?
Yep.
I watched the game on my phone, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how they pulled it off. I really don't. But with all that being said, the Giants are a finishing team.
He said
They
that
are a
with authority.
finishing team.
Yeah.
They're finishing these games. They finished them the last couple weeks. They finishing games.
They believe in themselves, and that's what it is. It's a culture change. We talk about this all the time on the podcast. I mean, I was around 2007 when, with the guy, Tom Coughlin, the head coach, guys had bought in towards the stray hands.
But it took a while.
It
wasn't right away.
But Brian Dable was like some instant ramen noodles. Brian Dable
Right away,
came
bro.
in and changed the culture right away.
They're believing in them. And you know what? I was thinking about this today. I think the play that had everybody bought in was when they were playing Tennessee the first game.
Okay.
And they went for it.
On the 2, they went for 2.
They went for 2 instead of going for 1. I think that moment was when Dayball basically sold himself not only to his team and the players, but to the organization.
When he had brass balls, brass cojones.
Oh, yeah, that's kahunas right there. Grande kahunas. Grande.
But you can tell.
Muy grande.
This guy, it is Latino Heritage Month. Shout out. He's throwing a little Spanish in there.
Baby.
I got a little Duolingo, to help me out with understanding what you're saying. But to go back to that play, when he went and asked some of his players, you asked the Saquons, you asked those guys, should we go for 2? I was thinking in my head, like, bro, this is too early to do this in your tenure as the New York Giants head coach. Giants Twitter has been hostile if they didn't get that. But they rallied behind him. And like you said, that was a culture-changing moment. And now, for them to be down 10 points, be down again.
Late in the game, too.
And still pull this thing off against one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL. It just goes to show they're 5-1 and they're real. Make some noise to the people that are here because the New York Giants are finally back and they're real.
What's interesting, guys, about this team is whenever you look at the box score, the numbers almost never favor the Giants, yet they win every game.
Ever, yeah.
Isn't it bizarre?
Yeah.
Like the Ravens had 211 yards on the ground. The Giants had 83. And the Giants won this football game. It's resiliency and it's coaching. You're right. Like coaching makes all the difference in the world. And this team is fully bought in.
And for the people that left, because I left, but I had to leave for a reason.
Get 'em.
I had to be here, right? But there were people that left because I was leaving. I wasn't leaving by myself. There was a whole bunch of people that was leaving, thousands of people that was leaving. And I know they didn't watch the game on their phone like I did. They didn't watch the game on their phone. So they have no idea what the Giants have done and what the Giants are capable of. And that's my thing. They are capable of finishing and coming back and winning games, which when you look at them for the first 3 quarters, they don't really look like that team that's really built to come back late in games. But they have done it. And they've done it consistently, and boy, does it look good, and boy, does it feel good.
And here's the thing when you're saying about how you left and people were leaving. I was leaving, I do the in-game emceeing, I'm up there. Shout out to DJ Camilo, came in, Camelo had the whole crowd going crazy. But here's the thing, I'm calling the Uber. I'm with my mom. We're leaving. And I'm just shocked to see all these Giants fans. I'm like, yo, we're only down 2 possessions. We're playing against a Ravens team who has given up multiple double-digit leads
in the
and
fourth quarter,
lost
too.
these games in the fourth quarters. You can't leave because this is a new era. And if you don't believe you want to leave, don't come back. Don't come back, Jack. We'll flip those tickets on Ticketmaster. But now I think this is the one that no matter what the score is, what's going on within the game, no one's leaving those seats no more. That's it. There's a new New York Football Giants. It's new. They're back. And like right now at 5-1, like my fine lady said right there in the first row.
She's the Cadillac owner, by the way, so she is bringing the Cadillac energy.
Absolutely.
Can we, number one sponsor, can we also shout out Wandale Robinson, who made his return, had a big touchdown catch. We had him on this podcast back after he got drafted in May. Great kid, does a lot for the offense. He brings a different element to this team and the different plays you can draw up for him. He was big for Daniel today.
100%. One of my keys to the game, I do the radio show pregame for the Giants.
Bragging.
I'm just saying, just let people know.
Flex on 'em.
But one of the points that I made was who in the wide receiver room is going to step up for us, right? We got guys who got sent over here, well, not sent over here. We grabbed them, paid them a whole bunch of money, and I don't see him on a stat sheet ever. I don't even want to say his name, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he don't show up on the stat sheets ever. He barely plays for us. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And then you got Kadarius Toney, who, look, you watch him from college, you watch him in practice, he looks phenomenal. When he touches that ball, he looks like Lamar Jackson when he has the ball in his hand. But again, hasn't really played for us. And when he does, he's not really productive for us. Slayton's been a guy, rookie year, tremendous rookie year. Upside was high. Upside was incredible. And then it's like, Slayton, where have you been? Yeah, he did good last week. Wandale Robinson, first game back healthy, first game back active, and got on the board right away. Instant contributions, and we look forward to not only him, but more members from that room contributing in the games.
But let me talk as a true politician like I am, B London 2024. There's no need to talk about who's not dressing. There's no need to talk about who's not playing. You know when it comes to this culture, and this team has bought into this culture, it's about the guys who are lining up and who are stepping on that field on Sundays. So let's talk about this guy, Wandale Robinson, who was having a heck of a spring, having a heck of a training camp, got injured and faced some adversity very early within his NFL career. A lot of guys could tank from that. But what have we seen? Not only in the Quest Diagnostics training facility where the Giants practice, he's been working his butt off. They drafted him to be Shet 2.0.
Right.
So for him to go over to London, make that trip, tried to get out there, but he wasn't ready. And for him to step in and to make plays the way that he's doing, we've only seen the beginning. He hasn't even scratched the surface because remember, he was taking carries out the backfield at Nebraska. So when you're talking about a Giants offense, pass catchers, where your tight end, Daniel Bellinger, leads the team in receptions, another game, 5 catches, 38 yards. Wandale Robinson, 3 for 37. They haven't even really opened him up yet into what he can add to this offense. And that's what Mike Kafka's doing. That's what Brian Dable's doing. This is why the offense is having success, because you're riding 2-6. You're letting 2-6 be 2-6.
Yep.
But when it comes to distributing the ball, you're saying, hey, I need you to make a play here. I need you to make a play there. But at some point, somebody's going to have to be a big threat.
100%.
Someone's going to have to be
8
a big
guys had a
playmaker.
catch. 8 different receivers. That's insane.
Different receivers. So that means, but 8 different receivers can't get paid in the offseason. You got guys who have been paid to make the play, so where it doesn't have to be 8, it could be 6, and we can up the targets to certain guys. But right now, you're 5-1 after benching guys, after guys getting hurt, so it's showing that it's working. And this is an offensive coordinator that guys can't wait to play for.
You're 5-1 with receiver 1 out, with receiver 2 out,
Yep.
with receiver 3 out, with your mother out, your father out, your uncle out, your sister out.
your
You're
cousin.
winning, and you got Jacksonville on the schedule next week. You can only think of 6-1. Then you got Seattle. I mean, I don't want to draw too far ahead, but then you're like, all right, let's go 7-1. Then you got the Texans. All right, let's go 8-1. Then you got Detroit. Okay, let's just go 9-1. And then you got Dallas. Okay, maybe they lose to Dallas, 9-2. But any game is winnable now for the Giants. I'm just saying, I got to pick one loss.
Don't even say that.
I can't have one every week.
You can't, but we can't go. We can't. All we're thinking about right now, and I say it like I'm about to lease up.
That's all.
With this roster, Jaguars. So
Yeah,
you're
that's
thinking.
it.
Trevor Lawrence with the hair and
That's
all
it.
that. Trevor is
And we don't want this to be a letdown game either. We don't want this to be like, we got this game in the bad because of Jacksonville. But Jacksonville has a quarterback that's very special down there that can make a lot of plays. Well, just like Lamar Jackson too. Just like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
But you always look every single week. You know it's really hard to win in the NFL.
Yes, it
People
is.
always say it, and it does kind of sound like it's getting old, but it's the truth. Because even if you do everything right, you make all the plays that you're supposed to make, you still have a chance to lose just as much as you have a chance to win. Always. Every single time.
Always.
How about the defense? Ooh. Can we give it up for Kayvon Thibodeau, who had a
finally
big
getting on the board.
strip that sealed the deal? Show love to the defense because they're the ones that carried this team today.
I mean, you talk about Kayvon Thibodeau, and this is why, Giants Twitter, I love you guys. I love the retweets. I love the banter sometimes. But sometimes you're just too much, man. You're just like a nagging girlfriend or like a nagging we'll flip it, nagging boyfriend for some out there. It's just one of those things where, when's he gonna get his sack? He was drafted 5th. When's he gonna? It takes time in the NFL for some people to gain their sea legs. And this is a legend moment. When you talk about New York greats, Derek Jeter with the walk-off RBI in his last at-bat. Michael Strahan being able to win a Super Bowl in his very last game as a New York Giant. Now you're talking about Kayvon, number 5, the number 5 pick of the draft, having a strip sack as your first sack in the NFL. And the biggest moment of that game is just going to show that boy, not only is he special when it comes to charisma, personality, but he's showing why he is the 5th pick of the draft, and he's showing why he's going to be special on the field and why he's going to be a leader on this team in the future.
And he still has a bum knee. He still has a bum knee.
Yeah.
When you hurt yourself early in the season, you don't really get right until the offseason. So he's on one leg, basically, and you saw the emotions after the game. The NFL posted him on their Instagram. He was emotional because it means that much to him. And when you got guys like that on the team, it's infectious, man, and everybody feels like that, too.
I thought he was crying because he got me a win on my birthday. I thought he was crying like but listen, here's one of those things, and Teddy Bridgewater said it one time how football players got to stop trying to act all hard all the time.
Right.
And it's a physical game, but it's also a game of emotions.
100%.
You've been through a lot in your NFL career. We feel the ups and downs. We feel the roller coaster ride. And it only gets magnified when you play in New York. Everybody's got it up. Everybody's blogs in their mom's basement like, this guy should do this, X, Y, Z in that sense. So when he gets that moment, it wasn't, again, players can say it's for the fans. I love you fans. I love it. He did that for the guys in the locker room because they've had his back the entire time. Wink Martindale has had this defense playing well. I wanted to see them a little bit more sturdy on the run game, stop that run game. I wanted to see them go after Mark Andrews a little bit because we knew that was the only pass. Can we stop Mark Andrews? He's not even on my fantasy.
And no offense to the Baltimore Ravens or any Baltimore Ravens fans in here, but offensively, who else did they have this game? And we all knew, because Bateman was out, that they're going to have to feature Mark Andrews. And we didn't do a good job against him. And that's just putting it
7
very
for 106. 7 for 106. No one else had more than 30.
Say it again. Say how much?
Andrews had 7 for 106 and a touchdown.
And then the other,
by the way, the
Oliver,
touchdown was Fugazi because it was delay a game and they didn't call.
But he did hit himself. He got hit in the face with a touchdown pass. They hit him right in the face. Not too long before that, right?
Yeah.
But then the other tight end, he got catches on us too. Oliver has some great catches on us.
That one
2 for 21.
Which shouldn't have been a catch. If you're watching, the ball hit the ground. He trapped that, and I'm not just saying that as
But you're
Blue
a
Rush
receiver.
podcast guy.
How I'm supposed to be saying that, not you.
It hit the ground. Like, I'm also a fair person. Be London 2022. I have to, I'm campaigning to be.
I thought you were
run a fair
2024.
election.
Now you're pushing up your election here.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, my bad. But it's the primaries. But right now, if we were to do the primaries right now, this Giants team at 5-1 looks for real. Say it again. Say it again.
It's hard to fathom. Like I said, without the top 3 guys, it's hard to fathom. And Saquon turned on the Jets late in this game, made some big runs. They didn't even need Daniel to run. He was 6 carries, 6 yards. Breida, 3 rushes, -6 yards. So this was the defense, and those 2 turnovers at the end. Let's give it up for Julian Love.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a big play by Julian Love. That's what turned the tide here and made this a game. What's Love got to do with it? It's got a whole lot to do with it.
He had a lot to do with it.
And then the guy who picked up the fumble, who's back from an injury, who shows just the staple of the defense, Leonard Williams. I mean, what he does against the run, not today, but usually against the run, and that turnover.
Let me shift your attention over to number 97. Dexter Lawrence
Sexy Dex
has been playing some great football, bro. Like, I'm mad back because I had to leave earlier because you can't really see the D-line play on your phone. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I watch the D-lineman all the time. Like, that's because I play linebacker, so I'm watching the D-lineman, and even when he doesn't show up on the stat sheet, the guy is making plays. Yeah. The guy is beating tackles. He's beating guards. He's beating centers. The guy is doing his thing, and he has a sexy dance.
Wait for it. Wait.
Is it
the pause is coming though, right?
Is it?
The pause
I'm just
is
trying
coming.
to say, is it a sexy dance?
It's a big man, bro. It's a big man. I remember last year. Last year I did when I was with the Giants in-house, we did a shoot with him for Ty, and we were in the cold tubs. We were in 2 separate cold tubs.
Okay, y'all were dressed or what?
And
you had clothes on?
I had tights on. You know what I'm saying? I was showing some Saquon Barkley type thigh. I was showing a little thigh. But no one wanted to show it.
Your mother's here. Be careful.
Hey, mama.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry.
No one wanted to retweet. No one wanted to really show love to him because it was right after he jumped off sides on the field goal against the team from Washington.
Yep.
And everyone was like, instead of being in the cold tub, instead of doing this, you need to learn how to not jump off sides and all this. This has been a team of redemption.
Yep.
It has been everyone's knocking Dave Gettleman. Obviously, I don't believe in some of the money he threw out there in that sense, because that boy was making it rain with some of these.
Kenny Galladay,
but he got Saquon, though.
But
so
he got Saquon. But what's Daniel Jones looking like now?
Right.
Yep. What's Julian Love looking like right now? What's Tay Crowder looking like right now? So it looks like Dexter Lawrence, it's looked like he did draft and bring in some of the proper pieces. It's just, you can get the great groceries. You can go to Whole Foods. You can go to Trader Joe's. You can go Stop and Shop, the official supermarket of the New York Giants. You can get the best groceries in the world. But if you ain't got Salt Bae in there cooking it up, it's gonna taste terrible.
Yep, it's gonna taste like crap.
Now they got Chef Dayball in the kitchen.
There you go.
Chef Wink in the kitchen. And they flambeing it up like that Fresh Prince episode.
They cooking it up.
Cooking them things.
They're doing a good job. I love every game you see a different wrinkle from either the offense and or the defense, right? Today, I saw the defense do this. They were shifting right before the offense was about to snap the ball. 3 false start penalties.
3 false starts.
At least that's what I saw. Like I said, I missed some of the game when I had left. 3 false start penalties. And that is directly from the coaches. The players ain't doing stuff like that. That's directly from the coaches. But real quick, a quick segue. You gave your mom a shout out. My dad is here in the back right there. What's up, Pop?
Hey, what's up, Pop?
Everybody say what's up to my Pop Flash over there. What's going on?
Over there. Looking fly.
So, Pop, there's a Cowboy fan in here. I don't know if you saw him.
Watch the Cadillac we got out there if he wants.
I told you.
Hey, Mom, stop looking at his dad like that. Stop looking at his dad like that, Mom.
There might be a fight that breaks out.
There is some controversy going on.
Here. Giants
There's
are
some
5-1.
controversy going on in here.
Let's talk about defense. You're a defensive player. Wink Martindale, revenge game. It's Wink's revenge game against his, old team. What difference has he made? And you notice as a defensive coordinator, What difference has he made to this defense?
Well, first of all, he's getting back to making the Giants defense look like what Giants defense is supposed to look like, right? What does a Giants defense look like, right? What does a Giants defense look like? The front 4, right? Or 5, or however many guys you got rotating in that front line, the defensive line, they're the ones that win games for the New York Giants over history. That's the ones that win it. And what happened at the end of the game? Who caused that fumble and who recovered the fumble? The D lineman. The D lineman. A whole bunch of opportunistic players on the back end that's going to be able to pick off balls because those D linemen are disrupting plays all the time, whether they're getting to the quarterback, whether they're stopping the run, or whether they're batting balls down. And that's the type of defense that Wink Martindale has brought here. Yeah. He's having these guys play at a very high level, and they got the young Thibodeau, and also Azeez Ojulari when he comes back and he's healthy. Man, the Giants D-line is going to be a problem, and you got the...
Go ahead, talk to it.
But
talk
listen,
with your heart.
Dexter Lawrence, bruh. Like, we love Leo. We love Leo. Leo's been in the league for a minute. He's been dominant in the league for a long time, like a decade or so, right? Has he been in for 10 years? About 10 years,
Pro
right?
Bowl 2016.
With the Jets and the Giants, all in MetLife, right? We know him. But Dexter Lawrence, bro, if y'all haven't watched him, people listening to this, take some film on Dexter Lawrence and watch him. He is a beast. He's a beast.
2015, so 7 years. Still
7
close
years.
enough.
Yeah.
And they're getting from top to bottom. I mean, you're getting, of course, from Xavier McKinney, but you're getting guys like Jihad Ward making contributions, and Zimenez. Dane Belton had 6 tackles today and a pass defended. Fabian Moreau, like, you're getting from guys you didn't hear of before the season.
And when it comes to a Fabian Moreau, when it comes to a David Sills and those guys, I look at those guys as, you know, what were we? The bottom of the barrel guys, the undrafted bottom of the barrel guys. That would have been a huge moment for Fabian if he would have caught that pick in that end zone and, you know, not allowed the Ravens offense to get 3 out of that. And that's not me jumping on him. It's the same way that I was kind of disappointed with Sills a couple of games ago when he slipped on the route against Trayvon Diggs. Because I look at it, you played with Victor Cruz. You know how your story could be rewritten with one play in New York. You know, and that's what the New York Football Giants have. A lot of guys who are in the process of either writing or rewriting their stories. But you've got the right authors, you've got the right coaching staff surrounded around them, JC, and they're not backing down. They're not scared. There's never a moment that's too big for this offense or this defense. And you still got some love, and you still got some plays made on special teams today. It's New York Giants, and I'm not just fanboying or anything like that right now. We watched it. We synced it with our own 2 eyes today. New York Giants at 5-1. Maybe not be the sexiest team in the game, but they are the most resilient team in the NFL. And that's more dangerous.
I like that word, bro. I like that word a lot.
They're tied for the 2nd best record in the NFL right now. It's pretty incredible. And next week, like we said, they'll play the Jaguars. We'll have another live Blue Rush podcast right here next week. What do we got? Big homie Jay Alford coming up next week?
Big homie Jay Alford. You talking D-line?
No, I talked to Jay Alford today.
Working with he's with the official.
He's doing the equipment checks. I said, bro, you ain't snitching on people, are you? You ain't snitching on nobody, are you? You gonna warn them about their socks before you find them, right?
You're taking money out of the table.
You're a players guy, right? You with the players.
Yeah, it's gonna be great to have Jay here because, you know, just your perspective as a linebacker, former Giant, the culture. You know, I always look at you guys, my brothers. You know, like I was a practice squad guy here.
Yeah.
You know, I was in that receiver room with Plax, Samani, and all those guys. I felt the culture. Like I saw Plax today, big long ass arms grab me like, hey, I love you, little bro. But we know the culture here. We know what it's like. So when fans, that's why I have that problem on Twitter sometimes where it's like, do I jump in and try and clap back for somebody? No, because it's like I know the standard. In Pittsburgh, with the Steelers, in the team room, it says the standard is the standard. It's the same thing within this organization. Giants fans, whether old or new, and the new cats are starting to feel it a little bit now as well, the standard is the standard. So having you here today to talk, having Jay next week is going to give these people what they need to hear because the New York Football Giants are back, and you heard it
But with that being said, the standard is a standard. I think the standard here in New York has been either forgotten or lost. It's been a long time since the Giants have actually lived up to the standard. I played here in 2015, 16, and 17, right? 2 of those years, we weren't that good. The 1 year in 2016 when we had a solid year, we looked exactly like the New York Giants look. How you think they would look. The defensive line ran the team. We had a whole bunch of opportunistic DBs making plays. We had a big-time receiver on the outside. We had another guy in Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz wasn't the guy I'm talking about. I'm talking about OBJ. Yeah. Victor Cruz was also there, though, to help as well. And then we had good old number 10, good old Eli Manning. Yeah. And we had a good stable of running backs, right? This team is trying to look like that type of team. I'm not talking about the team that wins here in New Jersey. Yeah. The team that wins here in New York looks like the team I'm talking about. We need somebody out that receiver room because we always have a receiver. The Giants always have a top dog receiver. And as of right now, I don't know who that is.
But the difference between that team, you guys also had a boat trip.
Oh, don't do that.
They also had a boat trip.
Don't do that.
And you talk about,
listen,
but you talked about the culture. That's outside of the culture. I do not see this team.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Here, boat tripping.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna ask about the boat.
Whether it's a paddle boat, a rowboat, or one of the yoga boats people do boat stuff on, you're not gonna see this with this team because they can't be flashy.
First of all, ain't nobody popping enough to be on a boat, okay? Maybe Saquon.
That's what I'm saying,
but ain't nobody
though.
popping enough to be on a boat.
That's what I'm saying,
But real quick, let's segue back to the boat, okay? Because I have
Were you on the boat?
some PTSD because of this boat, okay? All right? Now, I'm going to give the story. I've told this to people, but I've never told it to the public, to the media, to the outside world, right?
Ma, this is a story about the boat trip.
This is a story about the boat trip, right? So if anybody knows who I am, I was the captain of the 2016 and 17 team, right? On my return on a travel trips, Victor Cruz was my seatmate. So we would sit together. So on our way back from Washington, which was the Week 17 game we played that year, we're taking a train back from Washington. Victor Cruz says, yeah, me and the guys going to Vegas. What? Oh, what? What are you talking about, Mr. Cruz? What are you talking about going to Vegas? We had 2 days off because we just won and we had our best season since 2011 or something like that. So they gave us 2 days off. They were gonna go to Vegas and come back. I said, bro, please have 13 here for practice on Tuesday. Please, bro. Please have them here. He's like, bro, I got you, bro. So when the picture came out of them on the boats with jeans and Timberlands on in Miami, right? I swear this is exactly what I said. This is exactly what I said. Dallas fan, listen to this. This is what I said. Well, at least they didn't go to Vegas. That's exactly what I said. Because you know that trip to Vegas is 5 hours.
Yeah.
The trip to Miami is 2-3 hours. Like you can boom, boom, boom. You can get in and out in one day. But you get in and out in one day. So that was my thought process. And look, they all came to practice, didn't miss practice. Everybody was there, and I thought everything was fine. I thought.
When did the picture come out? Was it right after it happened?
It was like right after it happened. But so this is what we're dealing with all week. So I'm getting asked in the media the questions about the boat trip, and I'm like, they're here at practice. What do you want me to do? Like, they're here. Like, what are you talking about, right? Now, I thought it was fine. They all had great weeks of practice, right? And in this one, I knew that we were in trouble. So we're in Green Bay in January. It's 8 degrees, and I'm looking at the forecast in Green Bay, and it says 7, 2, 3, 4. These are high temperatures, single digits. And in New Jersey, 30, 28, like this is normal weather for us here, right? You know what I did to get prepared for Green Bay?
What you did?
I went up to my roof outside in the cold and would hang out on my roof with a t-shirt on just so I can prepare myself to be in some type of cold environment, right? That's what I did because I'm a little crazy, right? I do that.
You're a linebacker.
Right? So this is when I knew that we were in trouble. I go out for Green Bay. We're in Green Bay, first round of playoffs. We're in Green Bay. I'm so excited to be here. Like, I'm so excited. We're gonna win. I'm gonna win my 3rd Super Bowl. I'm gonna win my 3rd Super Bowl here in New York, my first one. I'm gonna be a legend here. This is all my thoughts. This is my thoughts.
Ain't got paid for nothing.
Right? Yeah, next to my dad flash, right? So then I go out, I go out for warm-ups, right? I always warm up, B. I went out, I walked outside, I said, oh, hell no. I went back inside, it was too cold. I went back inside, it was too cold, right? So then I go on my phone, and I'm looking at my phone, I see on Instagram, Odell and the receivers running routes with their shirts off. And I was like, oh, this ain't good. I showed my other linebacker, I said, bro, look at this. He started shaking his head, I said, bro, this is bad. What are they doing?
Getting acclimated.
What are they doing?
Getting acclimated.
This is what I think happened, right? All week, they practiced well. And all week, Odell was like, bro, I'm here at practice, I'm working hard, which he does. Y'all know Odell. Odell works hard, right? Yeah, he does. But I think he was internalizing the whole thing, and I thought he had to prove himself, right? This is young Odell. Yeah. Odell's not this young kid. He was a young kid back then. He was young Odell, still making kind of like mistakes and, you know, kind of rash and stuff. Good kid, though. Great kid, actually, right?
Great kid.
And I think he felt like he had to do something. He had to show people. He had to show people that I was ready. And he had the worst first half that I've ever seen him play to this day. He dropped 3 balls, 2 was touchdowns. And remember, everybody always talked about you get Eli to the playoffs and you see what he can do. And he did that. He was throwing that ball early in the half. And then the Hail Mary happened. And then this is where I end this conversation.
And we're not saying that to like we're not going there to like rehash or bring anybody down because I really like people were asking will Odell come back to the Giants for the longest time. People were like, no, why would he come back to the Giants with this team right here? I think Odell will come back. Landon Collins is back. Matter of fact, you go suit up too. You come on back. I think Odell will come back to this team.
He's got his driver, our guy Danny Boy, hustle hard. You know, he's here, he's local, he's ready to pick him up wherever he needs him. So did you get invited to the boat or no?
Bro, I played linebacker, bro. There was all receivers out there, bro.
So what's Trey Songz on the boat too?
Yes.
Justin Bieber.
Bieber was
Bro, that's like the 180 and under club. You know what I mean? I don't think Beal could go to that. He's too big for that. You know what I mean?
I would have been on that boat. Let's be honest. I would have
been right there with jeans and Tim's on.
Clark's Wallabies.
This is the Blue Rush Podcast. Give it up for Jonathan Casillas. Brandon London. I'm Jake Brown. I want to ask you one more thing, Jonathan, before we kind of close up shop here. You had 3 coaches in your 3 years with the Giants, essentially, right? You had Coughlin's final year.
Yep.
You had Ben McAdoo, and then you had Steve Spagnuolo. What the hell was going on in that locker room with the coaching change? Because now we see what a coaching change does for the positive, but you saw it kind of on the negative side.
Yeah, well, look, everybody always talks so negatively about Ben McAdoo, but I can't say anything negative about him. You know why? I'm going to be honest.
Really?
There has been no coaches that has ever checked on me ever. Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Besides Ben McAdoo.
Okay.
I got surgery, I think, on my fingers, and I think my daughter was sick. There's 2 separate times. Ben McAdoo reached out to me and said, hey, man, how you doing? How's everything going after surgery? And then something happened with my daughter. I don't know what happened. Maybe she went to the hospital or something. He reached out. He said, hey, man, how's your daughter doing? I heard what happened. How you doing? Your mom's good? Everybody good? Okay. I don't care how great of a coach he was. I don't care. Yeah. He's a great man, and I will forever remember him for doing that because I played for great head coaches. Sean Payton, Coughlin, Bill Belichick, right? I'm sorry, ain't none of them check on me. I'm not saying I want that. I'm not saying I need that. But, man, it doesn't feel good when you have a head coach checking up on you. Yeah. It does feel good. So, look, people talk bad about Ben McAdoo. He might have been the worst coach ever. He might have been. But he is a great man. So, please put some respect on that man's name.
But what about from Coughlin to him? All right. What about Coughlin's spot?
All right.
You keep talking.
So one more thing.
This is interesting.
No. My honest diagnosis or opinion or whatever of McAdoo, he didn't put his foot down when he was supposed to. That, I think, would really blow up in our face because you got to remember, 15 we struggled under Coughlin. We bring in Ben McAdoo. We're kind of rolling in 16. We got a young rookie named Eli Apple. Eli Apple, who people have their mixed feelings about, right? They have their mixed feelings about. I'm not going to say anything negative about him.
No, please do. Floor is yours.
But listen, I don't like talking about people when they're not around and they can't defend themselves, right?
Yeah.
But he did some stuff that was very detrimental to the team.
Detrimental.
Right? And he got suspended way too late. He should have been suspended earlier in the season because he was doing things in practice over and over again and in games that's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, he stopped running on plays in the game. He was playing the jammer on punt return, and he let the gunner go, and the gunner blew up our returner.
Dwayne Harris.
He blew up our returner, and Eli was walking on the field. On some real, I've never seen that. And, bro, you could get somebody hurt like that, bro.
Yeah, man.
So, like, I'm talking like this because this is serious to me when it comes to football, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, I play football, I put my life on the line for football. And if you ain't about to go practice hard, you need to be off this team.
Yeah, man.
I had this conversation with Eli Apple.
Yeah, man.
I had this conversation with him. But Ben McAdoo needed to have that conversation with him, not me. And I think that was the issue with Ben McAdoo. Some things that happened early in the season in 2016, he kind of let slide. And then the next year, when we hit the fan and stuff hit the fan, it was too late to start disciplining people. It was way too late. You should have did it in 2016.
So since we got you juiced up right now, we going blast from the past. Our guy that's back, Landon Collins, he was a guy that was kind of blackballed and sent out of here. He had a problem. Well, there was a problem with he and Eli Apple. Whose side would you take on that now that you can speak on it?
Look, I just saw Landon the other day. He's going to be my neighbor. Saw him outside my house. Yep. Welcome to the block,
right
Landon
outside
Collins.
Your house. Hey.
Renting or buying?
Just because I don't know exactly specifically that incident. I remember what you're talking about. I don't know how it transpired, but I'm pretty sure it was something that Eli Apple did or didn't do that Landon was probably on him about. Because Landon, no matter what anybody thinks of him, Landon is a tremendous football player. Tremendous football player. One of the better tackling safeties that the Giants have ever seen and the league has seen. He's a tremendous player. And Eli Apple, he also is a good player. Physically, he's a good player. But the guy, look, when he was playing for the Giants, and I hope he's improved it now because I only want the best for anybody that I ever came across in the league. And I only want the best for him. I hope he's matured, and I hope he's improved. But when he was playing for the Giants, and no offense to his mom, but his mom was always around, he was a little brat, bruh. He was a brat. He was a young kid trying to play in a grown man's league, and he didn't know what he was doing. That was the truth. And I hope he figured it out now. But from Twitter and all the things that he's doing, I don't know if he has.
Talk to him. This is the page 6 form of the podcast.
He said, just like the sausages here at the beer garden, he was a brat.
Yeah.
All right, dad joke right there.
Man.
How many lagers have you had today?
Hey, shout out to the
You
young
could say
one.
the worst brat.
The worst.
I ate one an hour ago,
Put that ish on, Jake. Man,
Let's get a couple Let's Go Giants chants here to close out. Let's go Giants!
Let's go, Giants!
I'd like to thank Pilsener Haus Biergarten for having us. Shout out to Cadillac. Go outside, check out the 2022 Cadillac CT5V Blackwing. It's right out there. Tip your bartenders here. We'll be right back here next Sunday. Same time, same place, following the 6-1 Giants when they beat the Jaguars next Sunday.
I like it, Jay.
When Trevor Lawrence's pretty ass is on his ass, the Giants will go 6-1. Thanks to Jonathan Casillas. Give it up.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Jay Casillas 52 on Twitter. Give it up for Brandon London. Happy birthday to I'm Jake Brown. Subscribe to Blue Rush, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. Thanks for Shannon coming out from New York Post Sports. We'll see you next week. Let's go. Blue Rush signing out.